Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be having a little bit of a bonus video. I'm going to be playing Vintage Cube with my remaining Q piece. Magic Online, great guys over there, making sure that if you have more Q piece than you know what to do with, you can go and draft Vintage Cube for the super price of 12 Q piece. Vintage Cube, for those who aren't familiar, is a format that has a pretty high power level. It has magic cards from throughout the history of Magic. It combines even going back to the Power 9 to the new Turtles cards, and that's basically what I like about it. These archetypes standing the test of time, getting new additions, new synergies, and yeah, trying to look for some unique stuff in the draft. I also have an article on Magic, mtgo.com. It's around a year old by now, but I'm trying to talk about the different archetypes, how to get into those, potent combos, stuff to look out for, the value of mana fixing. I talk about a lot of stuff in there that may or may not be useful to you if you're a little bit of a newer, on the newer side when it comes to Vintage Cube. I used to play this a lot, almost every day. Played with the best players in the world. I'm sure you've watched some of LSV's videos. But these days, yeah, I don't really have time to justify playing a lot of Vintage Cube. But when I have 12 QPs left over, I will certainly get into a single Elim queue. We're a little bit stranded here on 7 players. I hope you guys will stick with me. And yeah, this should be a fun one. Vintage Cube. You're drafting 3 packs of 15 cards. In single Elim, you get to play against the players you're actually drafting against, which I really like. I like the fact that I remember, oh, I passed JPA and Emrakul. I can't let him have this channel or this whatever sneak attack. I guess that's good for to be on theme with JPA. I really like that. Also worth noting that only 2/3 of the full cube is in the draft, because we're only going to see 360 cards, but the cube is 540. So sometimes, even though your archetype seems wide open, you may never see the key card you're looking for. That could be Entomb if you're drafting Reanimator. That could be Brain Freeze if you're drafting any Storm strategy. So combo has a little bit of variance to it. Also very high upside, I will say. Combo can really crush people. All right, I didn't exactly plan for this long of a waiting time. I guess I should have written a script. It's very popular these days. Instead of learning how to speak on demand, you have a script. I should start incorporating that so I don't get into trouble here. Pretty stacked event here. You see JPA, you see Menino, and just yeah, the single Elim. I just like it. In theory, it could be one match. You're gone. Your deck was bad, or the opponent drew the nuts. Right, you're gone. But yeah, that's fine. Then I move on with my day. I don't have any demands that when I sign up to Magic Tournament, I get to play a million rounds. All right. Sweet pack to start with here. No power, but Psychic Frog is very close. I miss playing that card. I do play Vintage from time to time, and I get to play the card still, but dang, that card was awesome. I might have to read this one. 3 casting cost 2 on flyer. When it enters, exile a target creature. And then, at the beginning of the next end step, that would be. So this is just blinking one of your own creatures, mainly? Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm generally pretty bad at understanding new cards, so it seems like a Flicker Wisp type card, but only on creatures. Unless you have exactly 7 mana in your black-white deck. All right. Well, I'm going to take Psychic Frog here. Reanimator's awesome. Blue-black mid-range is awesome. I mean, this card is just insane. Best card in the pack, aside from that, is probably something like Brain Freeze, Pyrogoyf, Blood Crypt. But starting with a Psychic Frog here is above average. We take that any day of the week. Ooh, and then we get past the Thoughtseize. That is an easy pick for me. So let us just read some of the cards I'm not too familiar with here. The new Glenelendra Guardian, 3/4 flyer, enters as a 2/3 flyer, and then you can. Okay, then you can do a little bit of Can't remember the name of that legend that counters and the opponent draws a card. It's a Dimir legend. This robot is awesome. It's kind of like third path iconoclast, I guess. But yeah, easy Thoughtseizes is for me a top 10 card outside of power, so that is awesome. Cards like Spellseeker and Mystical are awesome if you have Ancestral or Time Walk or Flash in rotation. But yeah, Bread and Butter is one of my favorite. Oh, I moved it to the sideboard. A second I thought I fat fingered it. Yeah, I really like Bread and Butter. These are just good against any deck, right? So just super high quality. Let's see if we can continue down the path of super high quality. Well, let me read this card. 3/1. Okay, so this is kind of an aggressive / reanimator outlet, sure. But Jace Prodigy is just a solid, very, very solid magic card. It even has synergy in case I get some reanimation going later. Out of cool build-arounds here, we have Through the Breach, but yeah, I'm going to take Jace Prodigy. If I can find a way to, you know, draft like a couple of cantrips, couple of removal spells, that kind of stuff, then Jace Prodigy is really going to do it. Okay. I'm in blue-black. Wooded Foothills by far the best card in the pack, but I think this deck is going to be very color-hungry and not necessarily 3 colors, because in theory, this could enable Grixis or Sultai. But I think Wan-Shi Tong and Bitter Triumph are both solid enough. I'm actually going to go for the Bitter Triumph. It's a removal spell that asks very few questions of you, and I leave the back door open for some reanimation stuff. Let me read this card. When it enters Surveil 2, one or more creatures you control enter if they enter from the graveyard. Okay, so that's pretty cool with some stuff out of the yard, but yeah, Bitter Triumph, bread and butter, what can I say? It would be really awesome if we could just first pick Psychic Frog and then just draft Dimir, because you can't really take that for granted. You need your seat to be open. If I'm just taking Supper cards to surround my Psychic Frog, then at some point it becomes questionable, let me put it that way. So for now, I like the quality. The Thoughtseize was the big one. The 2 other ones were a little bit less exciting. Okay, here I'm going to take Fetch Land, but I am really excited about this Kaito. Is there a chance the Dimir card can wheel? This pack is kind of weak. It has a little bit of a few weak cards, but I guess the pack was insane because it still has 2 fetches in it. Mana fixing, very important in Cube. So this enables Water Grave, Underground Sea, Undercity, Sewers, and even some combinations like if I draft Volcanic Island, this is now a blue-black land, right? Because I can go fetch basic swamp, but I can also fetch a red-blue land. So lots of backdoor stuff with the fetches. I will say taking Kaito there would have been good as well. Kaito's very good. That's kind of where you don't play any reanimation package. You just play. I remember back in the past it was like blue-black Flash, but now it's maybe more like blue-black Ninjas. All right, let's see here. I actually like the Epiphany. Let's see if there's anything else. The best card's probably the Othari. I actually like the Epiphany. I have a lot of discard stuff in my deck. It would be a little bit sad if I didn't have anything to spend it on, but yeah, this card is just pretty solid. Scales throughout the game. And the 1/1s may be awesome with some ninja action later. I don't know which ninjas are in the cube aside from Kaito, but I would assume at least one more. All right. This pack is a little bit unexciting. Failure by far the best card. Maybe I should take the Jace for some backdoor Doomsday action. That's probably fine. If my mana base was better or I was less committed to one of either blue or black, I could take Inti. That card is good as well. Okay, let's put the Jace Wielder of Mysteries in the mystery pile over here. I usually have my maybes or my combo build around, so I remember that I have to, you know, pick up whatever I need. This could even be some card like I want to splash, so putting it here reminds me I need to pick up lands. And in this case, you know, let's just see if a Doomsday deck falls into my lap. That would be pretty cool, but that's basically where I'm at. I usually pick combo pieces, you know, when I'm not giving up anything. I'm just leaving the door open, so to speak. Ooh, here's Super Shredder. That card is cool. We can probably draft that card and see where that takes us. We're not giving up anything here. Love Super Shredder. Anybody who's watched my Legacy videos will know that. Yeah, let's try and draft Super Shredder. Right now, it's only good with the fetches and I guess stuff dying. But I could find some stuff like Baubles or Gush or Daze or what have you. Also, it works on the opponent's side of the table, so I would guess it's just a solid beater. Here's a Thought Scour, which in theory is a Doomsday card, or a Treasure Cruise Dig Through Time Murktide Regent card. I don't know if how many of those Delve spells are in the cube. I would imagine at least Treasure Cruise, but who knows? So let's take that over nothing. I'm excited to see if I can flip the kite, wield the Kaito. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. I would say a solid start here. Nothing crazy, but a solid start. Very unsure about the Doomsday stuff. Probably not going to happen, but let's see about it. I found that white is oftentimes open in these. I mean, that's just strictly anecdotal. I've played white a lot, where it just seemed like I would get the perfect white deck. So now, what is more likely, Breeding Pool or this card? I would guess it's Breeding Pool. I could get something like Oko, I guess. Let's take this card. That's Graveyard Hate in theory. And we're rooting for the Kaito, I think not this pack, but the following. Come on, Kaito. You can do it. You can make it all the way back to Daddy here. What else are we looking for? Fatal Push, Dress, Baragoyf, Bowmasters. Just high quality cards. Counterspell, Daze, Force of Will. 2 mana counters in general would be awesome. A land to go with the Bloodstained Mire. I think that's going to be necessary. So let's see. We're 11 cards in. I think the Kaito is now or next time. I think it's next time. I'm not sure hate picking makes a ton of sense. I mean, I am going to be playing against those guys, but I'll also have a draft here where I'm hoping to cooperate and actually get sent some Dimir cards. So sometimes you can think about you actively want to feed somebody a card of a certain color to make them prioritize that color instead of one of yours. Skydiver's not terrible. Okay, Kaito didn't make it. That's a very late tracker. A card I might splash if I get perfect green mana. All right, not an amazing first pack, but super solid. Let's see if we can fill in the gaps here. There's Orcish Bowmasters, Undercity Sewers, and Mana Leak. That is a lot of good cards. I'm going to take the Orcish Bowmasters, but that is a lot of good cards, and I'm pretty sad to see 2 of those go. Bread and Butter 2 mana counter, and a land that would heavily improve our deck, but Bowmasters is Bowmasters. We're not going to see this Time Twister, I think. People generally like that stuff. Let's read this card. Okay. That's a cool beater. Yeah, Orcish Bowmaster is straight into my deck. What's not to like? Ooh, here's Watergrave. We have to pounce on that. So the next best card here is Remand. Grief would be fine, but Watergrave is insane. Turns Bloodstained Mire into a duel. So super happy to pick that up. And here's Prismatic Vista versus Counterspell. This is actually where things get tricky as I move the Doomsday cards into the sideboard. I will take the card that solidifies my mana. I think I can pick up a 2 mana counter later, but it's a little bit annoying. But that's cube, right? You're picking the best card, and then you're sending some cards you wish you could have taken as well. Okay, this makes me a lot more confident having Prismatic Vista in Watergrave. And now we get the Memory Lapse. Let me just give this a read, because I actually think this is a cool card. Such a cool artwork. The Bitter Bloom Bear. Yeah, this card is strong, but Memory Lapse is Memory Lapse. That card is sometimes a time walk on even a bad spell in the late game. The opponent can't draw anything useful, right? That's just a super solid card if you're attacking with Shredder or Frog, activating your Jace. Like all of these, let's call it a tempo play. I think that's fair to say. Are just so good. So we're a little bit low to the ground, it looks like. What would be, I guess Baragoyf is the perfect win condition for the deck. We would love some more, you know, 1-mana removal, whether that's Dismember, Snuff Out, Fatal Push. Any of those would be great. In general, in Cube, everybody's going to have good cards. So now it's about who casts them the fastest. And you can do that by either playing Mana Acceleration, or you can do that by playing in a good curve. So if you just end up in a cohesive strategy like blue-black mid-range, for example, that's just it's a good formula for doing well, because no matter if you're facing creatures or combo or what have you, you're going to have tools. Let's see what we can do. Also, right now, I guess the Skydiver is a maybe in the deck. Ooh, there's a Daze. Let me read this card. 3/3. When it enters, you may sack another creature. So that would be good with the Bowmaster token. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to get going. Yeah, I'm going to take Daze here. Daze is awesome. If I'm tapping out for Shredder or Frog or Jace, and I can Daze my opponent's spell, that's incredible. Cutter, awesome here. Volcanic Island, high level card, of course. Here's another fetch land, but let us think about the other options first. Skullclamp's incredible in Cube. So in this deck, it's good with Bowmasters and Skydiver and Epiphany. That is very tempting. That is very, very tempting. Skydiver, I might not even play. I have to think about that. Yeah, I'm going to take the land here, but Skullclamp was very, very tempting. Lauren Revealed, always solid. Is Lauren Revealed... Is Lauren Revealed better than Marsh Flats? Because Lauren Revealed can do pitch to potential force or subtlety later, and it fetches my... I'm actually going to go for Lauren Revealed here over Marsh Flats, because if I get a force or subtlety later, I'm really going to like that decision. All right, this is easy spell pierce. Poor man's fetch land. We are not in the market for. We have better options. Let's read this card. 2/2 can't block when you commit a crime. Okay, so kind of a Gravecrawler style card. Okay, I guess that strategy would actually crush me hard this draft. And here's a Doomsday. Oh man, is that too late? Doomsday Jace. I think I have to take it. Man, the Sink into Stupor is such a small upgrade. Oh man, now these cards are back on the shopping block. No, that's not what they're back on. They're back on the menu, not the shopping block. Oh man, I didn't expect that. Maybe without Oracle, it's too slow. Without, you know, LED, without Dark Ritual, I'm essentially just keeping the door open. Let me put it that way. I have to read this card. Okay, this is more sacrifice stuff that I'm probably not going to do much of. So I guess let's draft the interpreter for the side. Friction Tower is enabling that strategy as well, which is kind of funny. Maybe Culligan's Command. Is there a chance? I mean, I do have a Bloodstained Mire. I think there's a higher chance of K Command than Kappa Cannoneer making this deck. How many playables am I on if I'm not fooling around? Then I'm at 11. 11 is pretty low. We could be cooked here. Nethergrowth is solid. I like that card. Let's see if we can pick up like a Bauble or something, because Shredder and Nethergrowth would love that. It's even good with Jace Rinse Prodigy and Occult Epiphany to have, you know, something that fills the yard or something that is a different type. Fire Covenant, I actually think is an awesome sideboard option to have. So right now I'm leaning more towards playing Grixis, because all it's gonna take is one mountain. Dark Confidant. Is this? when you look at this is actually a good Dark Confidant deck, which is pretty unique. Yeah, that's fine. Dark Confidant and Fire Covenant don't necessarily like this like to be in the same deck. 2/2 that can block. We're not interested in that card. Here's a Mox Ruby. That is actually cool because that helps us splash the cards we're speculating on. Mox Ruby is insane. We're hoping to wheel Urza's Bauble. Oculus would be great. Fallen Shinobi would be great. We're going to wheel a good card here. Even Inquisition would be great. Demonic Tutor's going to go. World Spine is going to go. Oust is going to go. Yeah, we're going to be wheeling a solid card here. Picking up Mox Ruby here is funny. Because now I think I can probably play both of these cards off of a single mountain. Because I have Blustinmire and Vista, Ant Mountain, and Ruby. Yeah. Let's see what we have here. Mana Drain is insane with Occult Epiphany. Not insane with anything else. But that's probably good enough. Dismember is great. Now the question is Dismember better than Mana Drain? But I think with Fire Covenant and a command lined up, the answer is no. Okay, so it looks like I've kind of settled into Grixis mid-range. And I'm looking at how many playables. I'm looking at 15 playables. Do I have anything for a rainy day in the sideboard? I mean, I guess I could play Thought Scour. But that card is in theory good with Jace, Nethergoyf. Yeah, it's not terrible. But I do need some quality. Preferably more cheap cards. Getting to somewhat free roll K-Command and Fire Covenant is high quality. I don't mind that at all. I've seen 0 reanimation cards, I believe. So that ship has kind of sailed. So we're hoping for some blue-black mid-range type cards. Let me give this a read. It enters as a 1/2 that can then grind. That card is solid, and the rest of the pack is quite bad. Okay, let's take the Luckmare. Hymn to Torak versus Cutdown, probably. Can I support double black in my Mana Drain deck that's also going to be splashing? Well, I think it's worth fighting for because it's good against the opposite decks of Fire Covenant. So I kind of have Haymakers against slower decks, Haymakers against feature decks. If we could improve our mana a little bit, that would be good, but I actually don't mind being a little bit ambitious here, but it will, you know, I put Basic Mountain in my Drain Hymn deck. That's not ideal. Volcanic Island is gone. I'm sure, yeah, Blood Crypt is gone. Steam Vents is gone. So maybe improving our mana here is going to be a Pipe Dream. Pretty cool draft. Pretty cool draft. Flirting with Doomsday. Maybe I have to read this card. When enters return. You basically unearth. Okay, yeah, that's kind of an aggro card in the, I guess, Jund colored sacrifice graveyard stuff deck. Sometimes they insert some archetypes and they need, you know, you need a lot of like knowledge or research to understand what that archetype can bring. And I certainly don't have that. Okay, Darkslick Shores is amazing. But the thing is, Bat and Loose Focus are just quality cards as well. Maybe this is time to just improve my mana one last time and then start taking playables. Yeah, okay. Darkslick Shores. I mean, it helps my Mana Drain deck. That goes without saying. So that card is going to be valuable. Snuff Out. That card is awesome. The Verge here is also awesome, but I think Snuff Out is too strong. Just 0 mana, kill most creatures. I think that's great. It is some more life loss in the deck, though. So what do I have now of life loss? Thoughtseize, Snuff Out, Fire Covenant, maybe Bitter Triumph, unless I'm discarding a card. So it's not nothing. How am I doing on win cons? Frog, Shredder, Lockmare, I guess. This is a 4/5. I guess this card is pretty good mana sink when the game goes longer. Old Epiphany getting over the finish line. Here's Oracle. Oh, man. Here is Oracle. Oracle Doomsday, but no rituals. So I'm going to be playing a bunch of blue, like a bunch of islands. Yeah, that is not gonna cut it. So what I could do here is take a red-blue land with the intention of registering 0 mountains. Does that work? 1, 2, 3. Lauren revealed in a pinch, 3.5. If I can avoid playing the mountain, that would be pretty strong. But here's a blue-black land. Yeah, I should probably take the blue-black land. Tough choices here down the stretch. You need a small handful of playables. Okay, well, the Grixis land is good. I might have to play some bad cards in my deck. I don't mind playing Thought Scour. I don't think that's a bad card. A little bit sad about this pick with the Grixis land coming right after, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I think now I'm not gonna play Mountain. 1, 2, 3.5. A little bit sketchy. I could also end up in a situation where I mill it, which would be terrible. Ooh, I really love the Oculus because that kind of ties the deck together. I somewhat needed a win con. I'm interested in playing Thought Scour. I have, you know, Jace to also fill the yard. Like, yeah, this Oculus is awesome. This card is actually really good in aggressive decks. Burst Lightning, obviously insane. Willsprite didn't get taken, so I guess Flash wasn't in the draft. Okay, that Oculus I'm really happy about. Stern Scolding is solid. I'm not going to complain about that card. That's going to be a good card against, I don't know, 80% of all decks or something. So now I'm sitting pretty at 21 playables. If things go wrong, I can add some sideboard cards. I don't think that would be a disaster, but I would really love one more good card, and then I'll add a medium card. Reluctantly, but I will. Yeah, I'm really happy with this deck. I think between the Mox, finding the free red splash, you know, bolstering my removal suite and counter suite, despite passing up on a few of those categories earlier, I think this came together nicely. No forces, no subtlety. That would have been awesome to have one of those as a kind of a bullshit stopper, but that's got to be next time. Sedgemoor Witch. That card is probably not good, but could be my best option if I'm trying to round out the deck. Now I'm at 22, so I'll need one more playable. So right now, what would that be? I don't think it's Dark Confidant. Ooh, what about Gush here? So Gush is good with Witch, Frog, and for some reason I thought there was one more card it was good with. But I'm going to take it. I don't think Gush is embarrassing. Yawgmoth. Let me just take the Lingering Souls. I don't know if I have enough ways to put it into the yard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably not, but it's close. The Gush is also solid with Jace, I guess. The Gush is good with Shredder. Okay, yeah. This is a decent Gush deck. Just gonna take the mana fixing from somebody. Here's a general. General. That's not the name of the card, is it? Generous, not general. Okay, so we got there. This should be a fun one. Now, let's just double check. Yes, I go to 17 total. I think that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna play Mountain in the deck, so let's see how many blue we're working with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. That would be enough. black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. The 12 to 10. I think that is okay. Him to Torok. Still castable. I have some blue stuff to start on. I've been playing Gush. Yeah, I think 12 to 10 is gonna be the deck. All right, some Grixis midrange. Let's see what happens in the games. All right, match 1 with the Grixis deck. I chickened out and actually added a mountain instead of an island last minute. But let's not tell anyone. This hand is pretty good. The thing is, I should probably play a tap land turn 1. Because then my Vista can go and get the mountain later, which may end up being clutch. So this way I'm not Thoughtseizing turn 1 and I'm not Nethergoifing turn 1, which could be questionable. Looks like we did a good job and survived doing exactly that. So now I think I should Thoughtseize my opponent. Then depending on what they have in hand, I'll proceed from there. Okay, sneak attack. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the sneak attack. Hexing Squelcher. That card is a card I can shoot with Bowmaster later. Let's play the Thought Scour, the land out for a Thought Scour. Now, if I mill the Basing Mountain, that's what happens. If I don't mill the Basing Mountain, that's good. Squelcher hits the yard. Super Shredder. That's cool. That card has been played. That card has been played. So basically, I have to try and put on pressure. And yeah, I have to put on pressure here, because otherwise my opponent's just going to dominate me with the Crabomination at some point. So maybe I should go Super Shredder, Nethergoif. I think this puts on the most pressure. Let's see what the opponent can draw. Flame Slash on that guy. Okay, I think I take that because... Oh, wow. Oculus. That card is insane. Okay. Let's fetch the mountain. Play Oculus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attack for 3 menace, and then start getting the tokens in. Yes, please, the witch. The opponent's still a somewhat long way from 6, so I'm just trying to, you know, destroy my opponent in the meantime. Mountain. 2 unknowns in hand. Let's see what they are. This is a pretty tough spot for our opponent. Oh, man. Show and tell. Okay. Let's try and read this card again. Okay, so hopefully the opponent puts in the Crabomin. Oh, I clicked the wrong card. So hopefully the opponent clicks the Crabomination. Let's see what they found. Not sure how to... So I lost my call against command. And what more? Snuff outing that card. Yes. Here's a daze. So I don't think I can attack now because the opponent can double block this guy. So I need to daze something first. This also has menace, which is pretty cool. So now the opponent has an island and 1 unknown in hand. Should I attack with the orc army? Is that a good play? To try and grow the shredder? I don't know. Let's try it. Opponent's going to take the damage. Pass. So now If the opponent plays anything, really. Oh, man. I get to daze that card? That's crazy. All right. All right. Now, do I return this land? Because in theory, I could be interested in cycling. Okay, I'll try that. Dazing through the breach. I just assume my opponent has a crazy card in hand. Otherwise, they're not going to be casting through. Oh, can't be countered. Oh, man. I forgot about that. Oops. Hexing Squelcher. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I was sleeping at the wheel there. I was too excited. Wait a minute. So how much damage is the Archon? The Archon is going to attack. That's 9. Yeah, I botched it here. So if I shoot the Squelcher twice... Okay, let's try it. So I should have sacrificed this before, I think. Because I just get a new one, right? I'm clowning a little bit over here. So sacrifice. Shoot that. Yes. Go to 2. Eat that card. Land 10. So now the thing is, should I play around some hasty stuff? 14. I think maybe that's a good idea. All right, let's pass. Don't reanimate me, bro. Okay, we're pretty lucky to beat Abomination Archon here after sleeping at the wheel. Dang, through the breach and sneak attack and show and tell. That's scary. That's super scary. What can we do about that? I don't think our sideboard offers anything to do about that. I think I should just have like a timely Thoughtseize, timely Drain, timely memory lapse, timely Daze, timely Hymn. I guess I have some solid cards, but yeah, this could be, we can be in trouble against that deck, no doubt. All right, let's try again. Rick's a sneak and show. That's a dangerous matchup. It's funny. I've been playing against Hexen Squelcher 100 times in Legacy, and this is the first time I forgot it. It just, Magic is just such a, what do you call it? Like a muscle memory game. Okay. This hand is fine. What can we do? Turn 1 this card. The thing is, thought seizing first is good, but I think putting on pressure is so important. Let's try and cast a Luck Bear and see what happens. Volcanic Island, Ever-Flowing Chalice. So that's a card I can just snap with Skydiver. That's cool because it's a 0. That is a cool one. Okay, Blessed Admirer, solid draw. Land, Skydiver. The opponent will tap it for mana. I can't cycle Lore and Reveal for free. Okay, they're going to cycle that clown. That's fine. So basically next turn they're going to have 3 mana. Okay, they're going to tap land. So let's see if my strategy pays off here, basically postponing the Thoughtseize. They could also have some reanimation here. I guess I'm secretly rooting for that. Prismatic Vista. Let's fetch basic swamp. Let's cast Thoughtseize. Huh. Let's see what this is. Okay, that's just a random 3/3. Let's think about this. Did the opponent just leave a land on top of the deck? I think they just might have left the land on top of the deck. So that they can go make some hits. Through the breach. I think through the breach domination is beatable. I think if they don't have the 5th land through the breach, they in short, I don't think they kept a big creature on top. Maybe I should take the Vampiric Tutor. Let's take the Vampiric Tutor. Remove it. Let me read this card. Remove a counter from this creature, draw a card. What did I miss? Okay, I have to click it, I guess. My land drop the previous turn is kind of haunting me here where I played the mountain out because now I couldn't double spell black. Okay. Surveil 2. That's solid. Vampiric is gone. Squelcher and Ragavan gone. The opponent's hand is Crabomination through the breach and the guard they kept on top. All right. So I think what I'm supposed to do here is go... Maybe I don't care about this card. I guess it makes a copy. That's a little bit annoying. Okay, what happens if I play Super Shredder, fetch land, attack, and I'm holding up the Bitter Triumph? I should do this. Get in for damage. And pass. And now I think the opponent has to beat me now or they're dead. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill this card. Okay. I was about to say, I'm going to kill this card in response to the Through the Breach so they don't get a copy. Then I'm going to grow the Shredder. Like, the opponent is super dead here. Okay, that was a cool one. I'm sad I missed the Squelcher stuff in game 1. That was a little bit embarrassing, but we got there. This deck looks sweet. Let's see if we can win some more matches. All right, semifinals time here in the Vintage Cube single elimination queue. This hand has mana trouble written all over it. I'm so happy I cut an island for the mountain. But let's keep. We have a Thoughtseize, and the moment we find a blue source, I guess another black source is also solid. And we can do some damage. Ooh, okay. Aggressive green. That could be our kryptonite. Not just with this hand, but in general. Stern Scolding's probably quite terrible. Especially as the game goes on. Well, I don't think I can beat the Chandra getting played next turn, so let's go ahead and take it. The opponent will have a wistfulness at some point. They will go Surveil. They'll have the diamond, though. The diamond could be awkward, but let's see about that. The dream is I draw either Swamp or Island. You keep a card on top. Swamp or Island. Come on, deck. You can do it. You certainly could not do it. Because if I drew that card, I could hymn my opponent to shreds, or I could memory lapse the wistfulness. But now, can't do nothing. Can't do anything. It's funny that the mountain is punishing me here, but that's magic, right? You go from 12 to 11 sources, and that's the difference maker on any given Sunday, right? Because this mountain is gonna be a fraction of my mana base, right? So that's the amount of time it has some fail rate. Let's see what this play is out of the opponent. Forest gone, Mox Diamond gone, Wistfulness and 2 unknowns. Micah Spawn searching up a land. This smells of strip mine, unfortunately. I think we can go to the next game here. Okay, that was a little bit uneventful. Those are never my favorite games, but they happen. We have to keep the hand and trust that the math works out. All right. Playing first here, holding up turn 1 Pierce. I think that's worth it. That will cost me 2 life. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then if I find a red source, I kind of have a catch-up spell here with Fire Covenant. Fire Covenant, like with a Shredder in play, that's pretty sick. Let's see if we can make it happen. Yep, let's play the Shredder and then try and clean up with Bitter Triumph. It's a little bit annoying to tap down here, so if the opponent has a huge power play, we're getting cooked. Here's hopefully the Shredder staying in play and growing from the opponent fetching, etc. Let's see what the opponent's working with. We didn't get to learn all that much about the opponent's deck last game, unfortunately. All right, more red-green. Let's see what this is. Ren and 6. Okay. Ren and 6 bringing back the fetch. Ren and 6 bringing back the fetch is a little bit annoying because I just assume that that is gonna, like, the opponent's gonna need that land. So maybe this is where I just kill it with Bitter Triumph, paying 3 life, holding up the Pierce. Holding up the island here versus the strip mine deck might not be all that interesting, but it's just optimal against Wasteland, right? The dream is we get to pierce something here. We play a creature, it is what it is. That is a creature. The Sentinel is quite strong. Lockmere. Maybe I'm just supposed to hold up counter magic here. If nothing happens, I will Occult Epiphany. Oh, the opponent's trying to block here. Yep, that's not how it works. I'm basically trying to race here and say, if you're going to activate your map tokens, that's not, you know, that's not the best. Here's Chandra, which is a big part of why I played like this. If I memory lapse it here, my opponent might try and go for it again next turn. I'm actually interested in the Time Walk, because then I can go Lockmere and hopefully pierce it. No attack from the opponent. I can't recommend a no attack. Attack here, and then hopefully I get to pierce it. That's the logic. If my opponent plays a big creature, I look like a fool. Okay, that was perfect. We've got to Time Walk with our memory lapse, develop a creature. And it turns out the Renensig, the opponent had a ton of lands. Okay, now the opponent figured out the attack was good. Good call. Orcish Bowmasters. It's a little bit unexciting. Am I supposed to just draw here? I could also just stun. I should probably do that. Remove 2 counters, stun. attack for 6, trying to leave my opponent in the dirt. But let's see. The opponent needs to kill the Shredder. Trainer. No, it's the opponent has Flame Slash in the deck, so let's see. Flame Slash would be a little bit brutal here. Oko. I wonder what the opponent's going to do with that. Maybe turn a map into a 3/3. Okay, the opponent didn't want any part of that. I guess if they turn the map into a 3/3, they have to double block the menace creature, and then the other guy wins. Okay. We were able to kind of tempo out our opponent there. Shredder just doing work over time. Fetches and artifacts and creatures dying, etc. All right. We got a little bit lucky there because I had 2 uncastable red cards in hand, so lots of bad stuff could have happened. All right, this hand looks solid. But also we have some, unexciting cards here. Let me put it that way. Let's see if the opponent's out of the gates. That's kind of our deck's weak spot. The opponent's targeting me. And then I'm going to Thoughtseize. Yes, you got it. The opponent should probably have bobbled themselves here to get selection rather than just info. Unless they know they're casting Ancestral Recall. I guess that's what we're dealing with here. No, it's not Ancestral Recall. Also, yeah, that wouldn't really have changed anything. Thought Scour. Well, let's Thoughtseize here and take our opponent's, hopefully, best play off the curve. This is super annoying because I am losing to the Glorybringer. Maybe I should just take that card. Okay, take the Glorybringer, leave them with Mana Dorks. Because if I take the Halfling, they just play a Fanatic. If I take the Fanatic, they play Halfling, and they just have a 4/4 for later. So what's the point in that? Bowmaster looks bad here. Halfling is not a Birds of Paradise. Okay, I don't hate an Oculus here. Trying to get to 6 cards in the graveyard. I think I do that by casting Thought Scour right away because I play Nethergoyf, etc. So I could, in theory, draw a play. Fetch land is not bad. Okay, so I'm 1 card off from playing Oculus. Oculus, really good card. Also, the opponent plays Flame Slash and Chandra as their answer cards that we've seen, so it looks like they drew a good card. Sentinel, yeah, that card is solid. And here's Halfling. Okay. So I think I have to take this turn off going Occult Epiphany. Because otherwise I can't guarantee 2 cards into the graveyard. I guess I can with Orcish Bowmaster chump blocking. What is better? Developing a Bowmaster. Or churning with Occult Epiphany. I think churning with Occult Epiphany is better, but let's see. Let me pass here. Trying to basically stabilize with Oculus and take it from there. The opponent is a little bit annoying here. Last time I saw the hand, they had no Haymakers. Now they drew Sentinel into this card. Let's see what this is. Also, importantly, the opponent does not have black mana to kick the Terrace under as things stand. Yeah, that card is probably not beatable, but I guess we'll see about that. Gone, gone, gone. Terrace under one unknown. Maybe there's a forest in there, and I clicked away one too many. Wait a minute. Can they haste this card? That's crazy. What do they draw? The Crucible card? Okay. Oh, they wanted the 4/4 to make the mana. Gotcha. That's fair. And then they're trying to make that bigger. Oko, do they want Oko or not? Dang, Oko is a great card because it handles the Oculus. That is my plan. Okay, I'm probably dead here. Let's cast this card because I play Snuff Out. I guess I'm killing the Chariot if I find the Snuff Out. Shredder. K-Command is good here. So sad my opponent has one card in hand. So what can K-Command do? It can kill that, which I think I have to. I think the Skydiver is too slow. And then maybe the Witch. I just get 1/1/1. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. Because I have to K-Command. Am I even chum blocking? I'm not going to chum block. Let's... If I can draw Mox, maybe there's a chance, because then I can do some cool stuff with Shredder. Mox? Okay. That's not worthless. That is a 4/5. That is a 4/5. So let's play that card. Let's play Land Pass. And now I'm secretly rooting for my opponent to sleep a little bit at the wheel here when it comes to the Oko in hand. Not sure there's going to be a window. Fetching, yes. The opponent has 2 cards in hand. That's unfortunate. I wanted my opponent to play a land here. You know, and then do the fetching, and then I can catch them sleeping with K-Command, but chances are it's not going to happen. Okay. The opponent has a Taiga. Yeah, I don't even know what the opponent would need to do here to mess this up. Yeah, unfortunately, didn't work. So now, well, now I think I have to get my good timing in here and go K-Command on the Chariot and have my opponent discard the card. Because when the opponent plays like this, I'm just relatively sure that there's a reasonable spell left in hand. So discard, kill, F6, hope for the best. Hopefully that card in hand is another Sorcery Haymaker. And if it isn't, you know, what could I have done? Killed a halfling, killed a cat. So I get... Oh, I knew about the Terrace Under. Okay, I'm just clowning at this point. So we got rid of that card, which is solid. But the opponent has an Oko that handles the Oculus quite easily. Surveilling before mapping, just good play. Mill the Stomping Ground also makes sense. Yeah, the clock is kind of ticking here. I'm in trouble. The opponent now has a 5/6, which attacks nicely into my stuff. Badger Mole Cup. Turn my guy into a 3/3. Okay, that's not the end of the world. It's pretty annoying, though. That attacks. This time I'll block. How can I win this game? It's something about drawing a land, I think. They keep making that bigger. Badger Mole Cup on top of the deck. Psychic Frog. Maybe I need to double spell here. Maybe I need to double spell, but yeah, time is running out. We're getting cooked this game. I liked how I played here. Thoughtseize the Glorybringer. Opponent drew great cards after that. I was struggling a little bit. I mean, what can you do? So now the opponent is going to play stuff out of their graveyard and beat me here. They're going to play the Badger Mole Cub to have more mana available. Then they're going to go into the faucet or whatever it's called. I guess the cellar. Then they can replay the haymakers from the graveyard. That's not good for me. 4 mana. 6 mana. So that's going to be what? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it. Then they're going to replay all the stuff that I spent resources killing. That's going to be the final blow for us here. So they can go Glorybringer, Bauble, even land. Bauble, there it is. So I think the opponent's just going to exert in to kill the Shredder. Ooh. The opponent's just going to take the Shredder out of the equation. I like that. And then attack to kill the frog. 6/7. Yeah, dang. That's brutal. I can't even do any double blocks that make any sense here, and I only have 2 cards in hand. Frog is dead. Yep. No double block works here, so I'm gonna take 10. I think I have to chum block because Fire Covenant is part of how I get back. I have to preserve some life total, but yeah, this is all she wrote. The opponent had yeah, just 2 strong haymakers off the top of the deck that I wasn't able to handle. Fetching, mapping, bobbling makes a lot of sense. All right, that's going to do it. The opponent had a sweet deck, and they proceed to the finals while we are eliminated. That was a blast to play some Cube. I always love playing Vintage Cube, and sometimes you get to beat your opponent, and sometimes you get to get beaten by awesome combinations, and the latter was true today. All right, guys. Thank you so much for following my adventures over here. I hope you enjoyed the bonus video, and I hope to see you back soon. Thank you for watching.